I've been with Teknion over 14 years now, and 13 out of the 14 years I've been with the Altos operations group. Over the last 13 years, we've seen growth of 25% year over year. We have huge capabilities. We've added $1.5 million worth of equipment in the last 2 years in order for us to take on the Encana Bow project, which is based out of Calgary, which represents 56 floors of the Altos product. We break the manufacturing process into 4 stages. We start with engineering and specials, move our way to fascias, door packages and hardware, and our frame assembly.
The engineering department customizes products specifically for applications. So for example, if there is an application where our standard product will not work or needs to be tweaked to enable it to work with the existing architecture, the engineering would be done in this department. This is essentially where everything starts in terms of this is where we determine what can and what cannot be done. If there are particular applications that cannot be supported with our standard product, they would be engineered here. This is the internal project management department. It's quite important because it is essentially the nerve center of a project. This is a group that is responsible to work with you to coordinate specification, work with you to establish an overall schedule, and overall ensure that the project is executed in a timely manner. For example, Yasna here will be a project manager, or someone like her would be assigned to your project, and she would stay with you for the entire length of the project to ensure that it's executed properly.
This is the Kpi Wall, Key Performance Indicators. This is where we measure our continuous improvements, projects that are ongoing, our delivery performance, our quality, our environmental, and our health and safety stats. We measure this on the macro and on the individual level throughout the floor. This is our glass assembly area. It's a one-piece flow that we start with the aluminum cutting, the glass. We apply a bead to it. Once the bead is applied to the glass, it makes its way into the machine where it's press fit and into a box. This was a special machine that was purchased for the Encana project, which allows us to do 120 inches by 48 inches, which is a non-standard size. It actually press fits the glass onto an aluminum extrusion. For Encana, we did over 56 floors. With the help of these machines, we were able to produce over 20 miles of demountable walls with glass inserts for the Encana project out in Calgary. This is our door frame area. This is where we manufacture the frame to allow the door to be placed on the frame. This is our hardware packaging area where all the parts are packaged for your particular order. The way we keep track of everything is very simple. We have work orders at every work cell that tell every employee what needs to be done, how many pieces, and that way there is no guesswork on what has to be done. This is where the whiteboard is manufactured. We would cut the actual masonite and actually glue a whiteboard ceramic to it. In this area here is where the fabric is laminated to the board, and it processes through an oven and into a different department. To date, we've processed over 40,000 fabric fascias for the Encana project in Calgary using this machine. This is where we apply the glue, which is water soluble, to the actual whiteboard. It's very important to us to be able to use a water soluble glue for the environment and the air quality within our facility. Here at Teknion, 14001 environmental is a very big part of what we do, and we take that very seriously. Well, this is the fabric fascia that comes off of the lamination machine. Once it comes out, it goes into this area where it would be framed with an aluminum extrusion and into a box. This is where we keep all our aluminum inventory. We have backups for all of our extrusions. We have 3 different suppliers for our aluminum, which are all local. Our glass, we have 3 different suppliers as well. And our steel, horizontal, and vertical tubes, we have 2 different suppliers in order to keep you covered. This is where all the aluminum is cut, whether on a 45-degree angle or on a 90-degree. We have computerized machines that allow us to punch in the specific size that needs to be cut. Once it's cut, it will come to this area here where we would check the actual size of the part that we have just cut. We will check the first piece, and if you have ordered over 500 pieces, we will check every 50th piece to ensure that our equipment is within spec. Well, what happens here is once your order is placed, a special drawing would be created. Once that is created, it would be sent to Vishnu. Vishnu would then write the program, send it to the milling machine, and your parts would be made. We have 3 milling machines here. What happens here is when you order a special, we do the drawings upstairs, we program it, we send it to this machine, and it actually mills out the part for you. Special to us is not a problem, it's an everyday thing. This is where our vertical tubes are being punched. We have 2 pieces of equipment that punch roughly 500 verticals per shift, which represents over 1,500 linear feet of walls. The El Paso order that we did last year was a specific size. So what we did is we bought it cut to size. That way we wouldn't have any waste. Once they are punched, this machine here actually will do the knockouts for your electrical. So that way you can actually run your electrical wires through it. At this point, the vertical will travel through our tape machine. Tape will be applied to both sides of the vertical, allowing for the sound not to penetrate through the fascias. You can see it's like a foam. It's very soft, so when your fascia is applied, it seals together. Once the verticals are taped, they're ready for assembly. Each customer has a different reveal line, meaning that these clips and these mushroom bolts will always be applied in a different location, depending on where the customer wants it. Well, this pallet here has 100 verticals after assembly, and what it represents is roughly about 300 linear feet. We're able to get it into an elevator faster than anybody else. Also, look at the size of the pallet. It's just a pallet. Very little goes to waste with very little harm to the environment. Here at Teknion, not only do we recycle steel, but we also recycle aluminum, cardboard, wood pallets, fabric, anything else that we can divert from landfill. At this point, the vertical, the horizontal, your ceiling channel, and your base channel make up your entire wall. When all the product is complete here, it will be shipped to our consolidation center, where they will ship it to your front door and keep track of it until it arrives.